Hello everyone. This wonderful session will be the last part of this chapter, that is biological classification. This is part 7. In this we have to discuss lichens and viruses and subviral agents, that is virids, prions and virusoids. And along with that, in the last we have to see, that is biology exemplars. In the end of this chapter, some exemplars are given, NCERT exemplars, and then we have to see the questions which have appeared in Neet examinations. And now we have to start this last part of the chapter, that is biological classification. You know, children, in five kingdom classification, that is lichens and viruses have not been included, and therefore these lichens and viruses have not been kept in, that is five kingdom classification even. You see, because these are non-cellular, that's why have not been kept anywhere. Lichens, they show symbiotic association. The two partners are there. One is fungal partner known as 𝕆𝕍𝔼℉, which is about 95%, and the other partner is algal partner, green partner, 𝕍𝕀𝔻ℎ, which makes about 5% of the lichens. You are seeing some beautiful slides, that is lichens. Usually lichens are found on tree trunks. You are seeing different type of lichens. If you see structure of lichens as you have seen here, then the inner mass of the lichen, this is made of, that is algae. This one is, that is 𝕍𝕀𝔻℉, and it is surrounded by, that is fungal partner, which is going to make about 95%. It means, as it is made up of two, that is entities, that's why the lichens, we may call that this is dual organism, or that is the composite organism. Algae prepares food for fungi and for itself also, and fungi in turn that provide shelter and absorbs mineral and water for its partner. Therefore, the algae and fungi in lichen, they live in symbiotic association. They are exchanging benefits. Algae provide food to fungi, and in turn, that is fungi provides, that is minerals and water. You see, in fungi, that is in lichen, the fungi, that fungi, most of the lichens, they have fungi of group 𝕐𝕆𝕋𝔍𝕆, and therefore these lichens are known as 𝕐𝕆�lichens. You see here, fungi, they mostly belong to 𝕐𝕆𝕋𝔍𝕆, and such lichens are known as 𝕐𝕆lichens. Some of the typical examples of such lichens are graphics, cladonia, parmelia, and asnia. In some of the lichens, instead of 𝕐𝕆𝕋𝔍𝕆 fungus, the fungus may be of, that is Basidiomycetes group, and similarly they will be known as, that is Basidiolichens, is it? And few examples of this type of lichen are, that is one is chlorella and one is chorea. In the same way, if we see, that is algal partner of lichens. Algae, it may be from, that is green algae, or it may be, that is blue-green algae. See, 𝕍𝕀𝔻℉, that is they mostly belong to green algae, that is chlorophyceae, and some typical members are, that is chlorella, triboxia, parmelia. And in the same way they may be of, that is blue-green algae now, it is they have been kept in kingdom Monera. Some of the members of blue-green algae which are found in lichens, these are, that is nostoc and that is chlorococcus. That is method of asexual reproduction. Soridia, very important term. This is the most efficient method of asexual reproduction. Soridia are composed of algal cell, and these are surrounded by few fungal hyphae. You see here, that is this surface of the lichen. This soradial cup is formed. This is known as soradial cup, and this soradial cup, so many, that is soradia are formed. The soradia will be coming out and will be dispersed. The soradia is having, that is central mass having algae, and this is surrounded that is by some that is fungal filaments. So in this way compact structure is formed, and this compact structure is known as psoridia. Regarding economic importance of algae, these are pioneer of vegetation. Let this is a bare rock is there, barren rock is there, no vegetation. Then it's very important that they have to play a very important role in ecological succession. Lichens are the first type of that is entity which will develop on barren rock, followed by bryophytes like mosses. In most inhospitable or inhabitant place, the lichens is the first which used to grow. At certain places, because these are green, they used to prepare food. As food and fodder, these are used by reindeer and by cattle also. That is, island moss is used as food for that is men. That is, Rossella is one of the lichen from which a litmus is being obtained. And very important point which has come many times in that is Neet examination. That is, lichens are indicator of air pollution. What we mean by? That is an area which is having that is air pollution, specifically that is sulfur dioxide. The lichen disappear from these places. So if the lichens are not there at a particular place, means it is having that is air pollution, and especially that is this sulfur dioxide. Come to the next now, that is viruses. Virus. As I told you in the beginning also, the lichens and the virus have not been kept in 5 kingdom classification, because virus is also non-cellular one. Virus are obligate parasite. They need a living cell, and outside a living cell, these are just like inert, non-living particles. They used to cause that is specific disease in animal, plants and in other organisms. That's why these are obligate parasite. The term virus was being coined by Pasteur. We mean that is a poisonous fluid or that is venom. Virus is a link in between livings and non-livings. That is a link between living and non-living. Some of the characters of virus, they resemble to non-living object, and on other side some of the characters they have resemblance with that is living one. Brief, we can discuss the characters which have resemblance with non-living. That the protoplast is absent. Just like sugar particle, it can be crystallized, can be stored in a bottle. It doesn't have independent existence. It has high specific gravity. There is no respiration. You know, respiration is character of livings, and it doesn't have any system for production of energy or for storing of energy. That is, it cannot grow, it cannot divide, and doesn't have independent existence. All these are, that is, these are some specific points on the basis of which we can say easily that virus is a non-living one. But the interesting thing is, on other side, some of the characters are, for example, virus has some organic macromolecules like proteins and nucleic acids which are found only in livings. It has genetic material, DNA or RNA, important point. DNA and RNA, never both. These molecules, they act as genetic material. Virus is having ability to multiply in a cell. The virus will enter in a cell, living cell. This virus will enter into the living cell. It will take over the charge of this living cell. It start division inside the living cell. It can multiply, or so-called can reproduce inside a living cell. Virus, they keep on changing. The genetic material keep on changing. Mutation is there, and you know mutation is character of that is livings. Virus can be killed. You know, the killing will be only of a living thing. If these are being autoclaved or are being treated with ultraviolet rays, the virus can be killed. It means this is living one. And the last one, that virus when enter into a living one, they cause infectious disease. Some of the infectious disease you are familiar with these. Influenza is there, polio is there, rabies is there, and AIDS. Therefore, on the basis of this specific point, we can say easily that virus is a link between living and non-living, or it exists as that is boundary, that is at boundary of livings and non-livings. Now come some other points related to virus. He was, that is 𝕆𝕋𝔼𝕆. He recognized the virus. He discovered the virus in 1892. The first virus discovered was 𝕆𝕋𝔼𝕆 virus, TMV, which causes mosaic disease in tobacco. The other important contribution is of 𝕆𝕆𝕍𝕍. He called virus as contagium vivum fluidum, by which we mean that this is infectious living fluid. That is, from a diseased plant, the sap, if is being introduced into the healthy one, then this healthy plant will also be diseased. TMV was crystallized by Stanley in 1935. Twart and Hurley discovered the virus which infect bacteria known as bacteriophage, and the size of virus it ranges in between 10 nanometer to 300 nanometer. Plant viruses are usually smaller as compared to the animal viruses. Now we have to say structure of virus. The outermost part in some of the virus is known as envelope. If the virus doesn't have envelope, then that virus is known as naked virus. Envelope it is made up of, that is, it is thin, outermost one, and it has, that is, protein which is made by virus, and the carbohydrate which has, that is, host origin. The subunit of the envelope are known as 𝕆𝕆𝕆. Envelope is not found in all viruses. It is present as in case of HIV and herpes. You are seeing the diagram of this HIV. This is the viral envelope, and the unit of this is known as, that is, 𝕆𝕆𝕆. Then after this envelope, there is outer protein coat just beneath the envelope if the envelope is present. If the envelope is absent, then the outermost coat will be of a protein made up of subunits known as capsomere. The number of capsomere is very, very specific one. Then the nucleic acid, that is viral genetic material. As I told you, either virus will have DNA or RNA. Never both. If the DNA is present, virus is known as deoxyriboviruses. If the DNA is double-stranded DNA virus, example is pox virus, cauliflower mosaic virus. Single-stranded DNA is also present, as in case of cauliphase and Cy174 and M13 phase. Ribovirus, the genetic material is RNA. Single-stranded RNA viruses are TMV, influenza virus, foot and mouth disease virus, and retrovirus, that is HIV. The virus may have double-stranded DNA, as in case of reovirus and wound tumor viruses. Now we have to say structure of some, that is typical virus, which are given in NCERT. One is 𝕆𝕋𝔼𝕆 virus. You are seeing the diagram of 𝕆𝕋𝔼𝕆 virus. This is rod-shaped. The length of this is about 300 Armstrong unit, and the diameter is, that is, 180 Armstrong unit. As usual, it is made up of protein, the outermost, known as capsid, and number of the capsomere in capsid, this is 2130. This is genetic material, that is RNA, which is surrounded by protein coat. It is single-stranded RNA, and it is made up of 6400 nucleotides. Therefore, the ratio of nucleotide and capsomere is 3:1. An important figure is given in NCERT. You can identify it easily. The other virus which infect bacteria is known as bacteriophage. You are seeing that it infects bacteria, therefore known as bacteriophage. The T4 bacteriophage, it is having tadpole-like structure, having a polyhedral head, and then this is having a tail, helical tail. In between the head and tail there is a collar. Tail is tube-like proteinaceous one. At one end of the tube, it is joined to the head by thin collar. On the other hand, it is having, that is, a hexagonal plate like this. Tail plate this is. It is having, that is, 6 tail fins at each corner, and attached to this tail fin there are these the tail fibers. The hexagonal base plate, 6 small tail fins and 6 tail fibers, and with the help of this it will get attached to a substratum to the host cell. Come to the next now, disease caused by some viruses. Disease caused in human. Some typical well-known disease, these are mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza, and AIDS. And the recently have noticed, that is, this is coronavirus. Coronavirus, deadly disease. It's causing, especially in 2020. The disease caused in animals, foot and mouth disease, then rinderpest disease, and that is the bird flu disease. In plant also it causes disease. One of the well-known, as I told you, that is tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco, that is mosaic disease, is caused in tobacco plant. The symptoms in plant because of this viral diseases, some symptoms are mosaic formation, yellowing and vein clearing, leaf rolling. The leaf, instead of being straight, that will get rolled. The curling will be there, the dwarfing, and that will be the shunted growth. So dear children, that was about, that is, viruses. Now you have to see some, that is, subviral agents, even smaller than virus. One is viroid, discovered by T.O. Diener, smaller than viruses. They are small, having low molecular weight. They have single-stranded RNA and without protein coat. That is, it are made up of only, that is, single-stranded RNA. It is not surrounded by, that is, protein coat. Only single-stranded, that is, RNA is there. They cause important diseases in plants. Potato spindle tuber disease, very important one, you have to remember. In short, we may call it as PSTD. Then chrysanthemum stunt and citrus exocortis, 3 important diseases caused by viroids in plants. The second subviral agent is, that is, virusoid, discovered by Randall. What is there in this? That is, this is a large-sized virus. This is the small-sized virus. It gets inside this other virus. RNA viruses found inside the capsid of other large viruses. They replicate within the host and they do not cause any infection. They are not disease-causing one, also known as satellite viruses. The third agent is prions. You know, viroids are made up of only RNA. On the other side, prions are made up of only protein particle. They do not have nucleic acid, that is DNA or RNA are absent. Discovered by Alper, these are infectious protein particle in which, that is, nucleic acid is important thing. Prions are resistant toward acid-alkali nucleases, enzymes, and radiation. Prions, they cause degenerative diseases of central nervous system, very important one. These protein particles, these are infectious, causing disease of central nervous system. Some important diseases are, one is Kuru disease, also known as laughing death disease. Because the infection of prions, the human will die and the facial muscles will be left and they give impression as the man is laughing. Laughing death disease. Mad cow disease, also known as bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Scrapie disease in sheep, and that is Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. That was about, that is, subviral agents. As I told you, this is the last part of chapter number 2. In the end of chapter, we used to discuss some important questions given in the last NCERT exemplars. So for this chapter, a few questions we may discuss here. The one is, we can read it out. All eukaryotic unicellular organism belongs to, think it. Monera is also having unicellular, but this is prokaryotic one. Fungi, it is having, that is multicellular one. You can give answer easily. So this is only Protista. Protista, they have Protista in 5 kingdom classification we are talking, which has, that is unicellular organism, and it has, that is true nucleus. These are the eukaryotic. The right answer is this. Naked cytoplasm, multinucleated and saprophytic. These are found where? Naked cytoplasm, nuclear membrane is absent. Remember, cell wall is absent. Cell wall is absent in slime mold in vegetative stage. These are saprophytic one, and they used to move with the help of 𝕍𝕀𝔻𝔼℉. The right answer is this. Contagium vivum fluidium, important statement. See this question. We are just sampling out. That statement was given by 𝕆𝕋𝔍𝔼℉, very important one. In the same way, we have to go for some of the questions, previous year questions which have appeared in different year NEET examinations. Just a few sample we will discuss. The first question is, pigment containing membranous extension in some cyanobacteria, chromatophores. Chromatophore, cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae, they have done photosynthesis for the first time. Therefore, they have, that is chlorophyll A pigment and chlorophyll B. These are being located in chromatophores. 5 kingdom system classification proposed by Whittaker is not based on what are the important criteria. Important criteria, that is well-defined nucleus, prokaryote, eukaryote, mode of reproduction, think it, mode of nutrition, complexity of body organization, that is unicellular, or that one is, that is multicellular, nutrition, that these are autotrophs, or these are, that is heterotrophs. So what is left, which was not the basis, that is mode of, that is reproduction was not the basis of, that is 5 kingdom classification. Come to this question also. Say for example, this is Astilago is member of kingdom. Astilago, that causes smut disease. Rust and smuts, they belong to which? They belong to fungi. Even in fungi, to which class? That is Basidiomycetes. You have to remember it. That was Basidiomycetes. Some of the questions we have discussed, and in that way, this is the end of this chapter 2 of unit 1. That is biological classification, the name of chapter. And this chapter number 2, we have discussed in 7 parts. That was the 7th part, and the questions of previous year examinations and NCERT exemplars. Thank you very much.